guys. So, I want to say first off, shout out to video sponsor. Not really, but kind of sort of. It's these fucking green juicy things from 7-Eleven. You get 2 for $5. It's got like kale and cucumber and apple and spinach and mint and celery and lemon and parsley. My video may be lagging. That's why I need to upgrade some shit. I've been saying that for like 2 years now. I still haven't gotten new gear. I have better things to do with my money than get new gear. But oh man, that shit's so Legend of Dragoon. Yeah, figured instead of encouraging people to copy me and all that bullshit and all that horse shit, I'm just gonna start saying things are old school JRPGs. That that was so Legend of Dragoon. That's what that was. One of a kind. All right. Yeah, so crazy shit with crypto. Well, let's go into that. Blah, blah, blah. Oh man, this is so Breath of Fire 3. This is so Breath of Fire 3, but you know, after you get the first fishing rod. Speaking of Breath of Fire, holy shit, that fishing. I never really played Breath of Fire 2 that much. I kind of always meant to. I even bought it and emulated it. I just never got around to it. I played the fuck out of Breath of Fire 1 and Breath of Fire 3. And unfortunately, I played Breath of Fire 4. But Breath of Fire 1, you go around and there's these wells and you can, these wells. And based on the rod, you can fish up certain things. And if you get the dragon rod, then you'll go around to all the wells and you get the dragon gear. Then in Breath of Fire 3, there's a whole mini game around fishing. You have to get specific lures and specific baits and all that shit. And you have to jiggle the mouse and jiggle the pad and tap tap A, tap tap B, tap up down A. So it's kind of like Street Fighter but for fishing. That was surprisingly relaxing, believe it or not, because then the music's playing and all that shit. And then Breath of Fire 4, it was just, oh, I don't want to say it was a shitty game, but it was a shitty game. So, yeah, I will say this. I thought it was going to be more like Breath of Fire 3. Breath of Fire 3 was, you know what? Breath of Fire 4 was karma, because Breath of Fire 3 I liked so much that I ended up five-finger discounting it from Blockbuster. I didn't really. I tricked them. I put in a blank thingy, and then they marked it as it just fell out. But so then I bought Breath of Fire 4 my own money, and it was a shit game. So that's karma for you. Anyways, Theta's at 740. It was at 740, 739. Stupid fucking T-Fuel. Reef and Hot are going up too. I think Reef's back to 2 cents and Hot's back to 1 cent. I don't really feel like going through all that shit right now. As you can see, I've just about mined my rent for the month. So that's cool. So now I'm just, before I remember when mining T-Fuel was wow, I could almost pay my phone bill with it. Now mining T-Fuel is paying my legitimate bills. I'm just not cashing it out. I have other sources of income, like a job and other investments and whatnot. So I'm just going to let my investments keep on accumulating while I keep on using my income, my money coming in to pay my daily necessities and do things like get silver and shit like that. Now, what was it? This is so they banned my channel and all the or suspended my channel again, all that bullshit. But it's like all this shit. It's like they were waiting to do it specifically, and they made it the most bullshit. The thing that gets me is they didn't ban it, for telling people, some of my stories that might be a little bit too much. They banned it or suspended it, whatever the fuck it is, for basically saying the truth. Think about that one for a minute. Normally they don't give a fuck about shit. It causes more attention when you try to hide the shit. The other thing is what is happening now with this voter audit, voter fraud stuff. They are having lots of evidence the only argument people ever had was, where's the evidence? Where's the evidence? And they're like, all right, we'll show you at this date and this date. There's audits going on, there's lawsuits going on and whatnot. And now the time to actually see the evidence is going on now. That Mike Lindell, My Pillow guy dude, is doing that symposium. And like, I was going to go to it, but I was like, why? Because I mean, like, it's obvious that there was voter fraud. Anyone who understands PCAPs and forensics understands that they caught them red-handed. The only thing is now is all the people who are supposed to be experts are just ending up showing that they are corrupt individuals because they're trying to convince you that they're pissing on your foot and it's rain, not piss. That's the best way to describe it. Anyways, the thing I want to say is, like, why do they think they can do this? Because people really are stupid. I don't even want to say that they're stupid. It's more like they lack faith in themselves is the best way to say it, or they're afraid of reality, or they just it's like this. The way I view it is, I remember there was a point in my life when I had this job at a furniture warehouse, and essentially what it was get there at like 6 in the morning, load up truck, unload truck, open up furniture from the boxes, load up truck again, or store shit in the warehouse. Lunchtime, clean up everything. All right, see you guys tomorrow. It was the best ever if it hadn't been for the fact that, like, I was also like technically on probation and like pretty much in jail and shit like that, because I was like young. I was 17. They were trying to charge me as an adult. But that's actually, I remember having this conversation at the time. I was like, well, which one do you really feel gives you more freedom, public school or jail? And I was like, jail, because I can actually at least be left the fuck alone for some of the times. You, like, at some point in time, you'll have to like go over there and stare at the wall or zone out. And I'll go over there and stare at the wall and zone out. But I won't have someone pretty much demanding that I read this and demanding that I do that and demanding that I think the way they think. Like, in jail and in public school, your body is imprisoned, but in jail, your mind is free. In public school, your mind and your body is imprisoned. In jail, only your body is imprisoned. That was essentially what it came down to me. That's why I preferred jail over public school. Anyways, that kind of gives you a different view on the world, and it makes you kind of realize the level of bullshit going on. The other thing I wanted to point out is, like, the reason why the powers that be, the bankers, feel that they can pull the wool over your eyes is because they have successfully demoralized you so much that you are fighting for the right to be a slave. Whether a lot of people don't even realize it. Those stupid losers who are still going off about it, that infosec bullshit. And like, to anyone who doesn't know, this is the brief breakdown. Someone who followed me, so I followed them back. But the next account I make, I'm not going to follow back people. I've already started not doing that. So if anyone who's cool who I haven't followed back, it's probably because I just haven't been online that much. I'm like playing Masters of Orion 2 a whole lot, like the original one. Like, my horoscope says that August is the best month for me. And honestly, if it's because I do nothing but play Masters of Orion 2, that would be super chill. That would be completely Final Fantasy 6 in Japan, 3 in America. Anyways, what was I talking about? Yeah, the stupid fucking losers. Quick breakdown. Some fucking weirdo who followed me, so I followed them back. Tried to put me into some crazy conversation. I had no idea what the fuck was going on. So I was like, yeah, just everyone keep in mind, like, you're not obligated to talk to a fat bitch if she DMs you, because that stupid fat bitch that DM'd me. And that escalated into some kind of a pissing contest, because I found out that stupid bitch, I think, is either a really ugly woman or a unsuccessful transition trans. I don't give a fuck. I was just being polite and followed back. But whatever it is like ugly as sin is what it comes down to. It's like, if you were that ugly, I would probably try to hide it too. But anyways, so then that became pulling random people into bullshit to pretty much not talk about the shit they wanted to talk about. I even specifically said we can just go onto a channel. I invite you into my channel. We can just have a live discussion. That way we can, whatever tech shit you want to talk about, we can talk about. They didn't want to talk about anything. They asked me a point blank question. I answered it. I said API, and they said, what is the biggest threat to security right now, and I said API security and and change management, and lo and behold, that's exactly what everyone's put on the blockchain because everyone keeps getting hacked. Just like yesterday, when the biggest hack in blockchain happened, and $600 million, over half of $1 billion, just vanished into the ether, literally into the ether, Ethereum blockchain, and no one knows what happened to it, and they're trying to find it. Why? Because some shitty unsecure development bridge that people wanted to use because they wanted to be nice and friendly and cool and all that bullshit. I'll get to that in a second. Anyways, pretty much those losers are still going on about it. And this is the thing. Their claim to fame turned it out to be that someone else let them put their name on their work. So they're fucking posers right off the bat. But they've had over a year to do anything with their life. And in that same time, I've made I'm basically a million. Like, even though it's only 500,000 now in theta, it was pretty much a million a few months ago. It's going to be more than a million in a few months. I've got other shit going on, so I became a millionaire, and they're still going on about some bullshit that they are factually incorrect about, and that everyone in the industry is putting on the blockchain. If they still work in the industry, they are my de facto employees now because I took the time to invest in a company when it was 50 cents and they were running around bitching about everything and doing anything but bettering their lives. That's how they can control people because they have put so much effort and energy into being a Twitter expert that they will do anything they can to defend that, even if it means not being an expert in reality. That's why Mike Lindell has to do these things like show everyone the PCAPs, show everyone this is the thing. Password cracking is super easy. It's super easy to get a router's password. I'll just leave it at that. You take the image of it, you load it up on a Kali, run Hydra, some shit like that, mangle it with John the Ripper. I got the password. You can see everything. They're trying to convince you that you're stupid because they know this. They ran out of options. They got egg on their face. So, I mean, when people eventually run out of shit, they'll eventually. It's like when you see a 3-year-old. You see a 3-year-old throw a tantrum. They'll eventually tire themselves out and go the fuck to bed. That's just what it is. And in the meantime, what do? You keep wiggling the mouse. You keep making your investments. Like, are you done? You done crying? Okay, well, you can go cry some more if you want to. You want to bang the pots and pans? I'll just put my earphones in. You let them tire themselves out, and then when they fall asleep, you just put them to bed. And when they wake up, they just have to deal with the fact that they don't have that shit anymore still. So, I mean, like, you just have to learn to deal with shit. And these people have not learned to deal with shit. It's like I had a cousin who was so spoiled, he didn't wipe his own ass until he was 12. Because, Mamita, come wipe my ass, please. That's literally what he would until he was 12. I'm finished. 12 years old, I'm finished. A lot of these people are like 30 years old. I'm finished. Government, come wipe my ass. I'm finished. So that's what we're dealing with right now in this world. That is so. What is a shitty game? What is a game that like I got and I regretted that I got? That's so that is so Breath of Fire 4. That's what that is. That's Breath of Fire 4. That's Final Fantasy 10 2. That's what that is. I never played 10 2. I just watched it and I was like, not for me. Final Fantasy 10 was totally Final Fantasy Part 1. That's what that was. That's how dope that shit was. Final Fantasy 1 was fun, but a pain in the ass. Because it would sometimes the monsters were just cruel. Especially if you were dungeon crawling, like just buy a lot of potions. And, like, your bag should be full of potions. Because you're like, I have these magical spells and they'll heal me. But then you'll run out. You'll need them for the boss fight. Potions. Potions. You just buy potions. That's it. I'm just gonna post this shit and go about my day. I'm just cleaning up shit so I can set up the other computers so I can whatever. I'm telling you, like, they pissed me off. I'm just gonna on this one hand, on this one computer, I'm gonna play Massive Orion. On this other computer, I'm gonna be merging videos for Dinosaurs. On this other one, I'm just gonna start making a bajillion accounts and uploading every single video I've ever made on YouTube nonstop, and they can go eat shit. All right, guys, peace out.